For the last 71 years, we've watched some of the greatest moments in sports history.
There's Mikan. His quick set is off the rim, but George makes good in his second try, 85 to 81.
Being guarded by Dennis Johnson.
Byron Scott is in the ball game now. 5 seconds to go. Matches with a hook shot. Scores with 2.
The look away to Livingston. Jordan. Oh, a spectacular move by Michael Jordan. That's 13 consecutive field goals.
Iverson, bothered by Lewis. Iverson. How about that? And it steps over Teron Lewis.
7 straight points by Iverson. Looked like he was dead in the water.
The Sixers, a 1-point game. Walker can tip it. Bryant with the save. He's going to get a shot. Final seconds. Bryant for the win.
They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry! With 0.6 of a second remaining.
Lillard, a chance to send the Thunder home. Lillard, long range 3. It's good! At the buzzer! Damian Lillard! Are you kidding me?
But what if we went all the way back and redid it? Today is the year 1961, guys. Welcome back to another episode of NBA 2K History Resimulation here on NBA 2K21 Next Gen. If you guys missed any of the previous episodes, go down in the description down below. There is a playlist of not only this series, but the 2K20 version of it as well. So if you guys want to check any of those out, if you guys have missed it or never watched it, go ahead and check it out real quick. Let's go over a quick preview of the last episode. If you guys are enjoying this series, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel, and also, share this video around. Get these videos, get these videos some more views. If you guys want to share it around to your friends or whatever. So the last three seasons, for the last episode, George Mikan won an MVP. Then Bob Pettit won an MVP. Bob Cousy won an MVP, and obviously went from Boston to LA to play with George Mikan. And then as far as NBA champions, the Knicks with Elgin Baylor won 2 straight, and then Detroit beat the Warriors in the last season. So Cliff Hagan has 2 NBA Finals MVPs. Elgin Baylor has 1 with 2 rings. The Warriors have lost 3 in a row in the NBA Finals. They're 1-3 in the last 4 since they got Bill Russell, which is interesting. And let's see, Detroit has 2 championships. The Knicks have 3 in the last 7 years, and then 4 in the last 10 years, I think. And then the Lakers, they had 3, 4, 5, and 6 years. So that's kind of where we are at. Also, this is the first season with the Chicago Packers. And I went back in history and looked at it. So they actually did give the Chicago Packers the #1 overall pick. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. Now, for the 1961 draft, and by the way, for those of you who may have missed it or are new, as far as these drafts go and the players that I bring in players that I can find. I don't create any of the players. So I don't have the time to create any of the players. And because PS5 on with next gen, and with it being April, I mean, I guess we've had some time, like 5-6 months with this game out, to where people could create players and whatnot. Just a lot of these players aren't created, and that's just the reality of it. Or maybe I just didn't find it. So if you guys want it more accurate and more players in this thing, if you guys have a PS5 and you guys want to go ahead and make these draft classes ahead of time and let me know, that'd be awesome. But like I said, I'm not asking you guys to do that. I'm just saying I'm finding what I can find. I'm not creating anyone. And, unfortunately, I just don't have the time. So that's just kind of how it is. So in this draft, in the 1961 draft, I only have 1 player, and that's Walt Bellamy, I believe. So yeah, that's That's just the unfortunate thing about this. Last time I did this in 2K20, it was right before 2K21 was coming out. So there was a lot of time to where people, had draft classes and all these players were in there. Unfortunately, like, that's just not the case with this game. So that's just the reality of it. And like I said, I just don't have time. I wish I had time to go in, create each player and all of that, but I don't. Also, with these draft classes, if you do have a PS5 and you want to follow along with these draft classes, you guys are going to have to make it yourself from 1960 forward, just because I'm going to keep the first 9 draft classes uploaded on my share, so you guys can go get them if you guys are just starting out, because those I did have to make all of them individually. From 1960 up, well, at least 1965 and up, I don't think it's you have to. They have them in there. You just got to manually, make everyone else that's not real with low potential or whatever. But it's a little bit easier to make. So I'm going to keep the first 9 draft classes in there. Unfortunately, you can't upload more than 9, apparently. So, yeah. So Walt Bellamy is going to be entering the league. And just like in real life, he's going to go to the Chicago Packers. I'm going to go ahead and give... I thought about it. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. But I am gonna send... or at least give the Packers the #1 overall pick. Arnie Risen does retire. He had a decent career. He had a really good start, at least in the first 4 years, pretty much 5, averaging 20 points per game with the Royals. Did he win any championships? Did the Royals win any? I don't remember. I don't think so, which is weird because obviously the Royals in the last in 2K20 version of this, they dominated the league, but yeah, they never won a championship. They got there in the 55-56 season, and the Knicks won. So, and I believe, was he there? 55-56 would have been this season. Yeah, he was with the Royals. That was his last good season, or like really good season. So Arnie Risen retires at the age of 37 years old. We'll see if he makes it to the Hall of Fame or not. Well, guess not, since it didn't come up. But yeah, also, I don't know if anyone has said this, but the league, like relocations and all that, is not popping up in here. I must have accidentally turned it off. If you guys know how to turn that back on so I can mess with like the team realignment, let me know in the comments on how to bring that back, because I've been searching and I can't find it. So I don't know if I'm just kind of screwed or if I just have to wait till I bring in an expansion team. I don't know. So I just got to be careful on who, like where I put teams and stuff like that. So yeah, just let me know in the comments below if you guys know. So yeah, let's get to the NBA draft, where the Chicago Packers will have the #1 overall pick, where they will select Walt Bellamy, more than likely, and we'll move on with the rest of the offseason. And with the #1 overall pick, the Chicago Packers, shocker, takes Walt Bellamy. So there you go. Walt Bellamy is now the only real player on the Packers. They're probably going to be really bad next year, so we'll see. And then they'll be the Zephyrs next year, and then the Baltimore Bullets. Like, we have to literally change them every single year. It's crazy. Into the 1961 NBA free agency, Dolph Schayes is back with the Nationals. Mikan is back with the Lakers. Sam Jones is back with the Royals. Sharman is back with Detroit. Shue is back with New York. Coleman is going from Boston to Syracuse. Yardley is going from the Lakers to the Hawks. Earl Lloyd is going from is staying with the Royals. Chuck Scher is going to New York. McGuire is staying in Philly. Paul Seymour is going to the Lakers, going back to the Lakers. And let's see, King stays with Detroit. Cooper is going to the Warriors, and Simmons is going to the Nationals. So there you go. Not no big moves in this free agency. Also, real quick, I will be relocating the Warriors from Philly to San Fran for the 63 season, which is the last season of this episode. Zephyrs obviously next year. Baltimore Bullets the year after that, and then Syracuse will be moving to Philly also in the 1963 season. So a couple of team movements, and obviously one expansion team. 1961-1962 season is over, and Bob Pettit wins his second MVP in 3 years. 25 points per game, 14 rebounds, 2.5 assists per game, a steal, and 2 blocks per game, while Bellamy, shocker, wins Rookie of the Year. 30 points per game, 11 rebounds. Bill Russell wins DPOY. This is a ridiculous amount now. I don't think he's ever had a season where he didn't win it. Let's see here. He's a one-time NBA champion, 4-time All-Star, first team All-Defensive 6 times, a DPOY 6 times. He's really good in this. Like, he's really good. Like, he's not dominating the league offensively, obviously, but he didn't do that in real life. And look, they've gotten to the NBA Finals, I believe, every single year that he's been around, right? Am I wrong on that? Like, he's been just as dominant. I just don't think he has as good of a team as, like, that Boston team in real life. But 27-28, that would have been, what, 56, 57 season was his first year. And 56, yeah, they've made it to the NBA Finals every year except his rookie year. Wow. That's pretty impressive. He's a 95 overall. Bob Pettit is up to a 97 overall. So he's probably the best player in the league, because I don't think Bob Cousy is at a 97. Yeah, I think Bob Pettit might be the only one at a 97 overall. Oscar Robertson made it to the All-NBA first team, averaging 23, 5.6, and 7.7 assists. Bob Cousy, who's a 94 overall. Man, he's 32. Wow, he's been in the league a long time. 25 a game, 5 and 4. Bob Pettit, who is... I guess Bob Pettit's 29. That's crazy. That's great. I feel like this series has flown by for me. 25 and 14 a game, obviously, this year. Elgin Baylor, who's just in year 4 now, 24 and 9 and 5. And then Walt Bellamy made the All-NBA first team. All-NBA second team, we got Barnett, Jerry West, who's averaging 22 and 4 with the Hawks. It's a hell of a duo. Bob Pettit and Jerry West. Cliff Hagan in Detroit, averaging 22, 7 and 4. Tom Hinson, averaging 17, 8 and 3. And George Mikan is on the second team, 26 and 11 per game. All-NBA third team, we got Gola, Wilkins, Lovelet, Dolph Schayes, and Bill Russell. All defensive first team, Gola, KC Jones, Bob Pettit, Elgin Baylor, Bill Russell. All defensive second team, we got Carl Braun, Oscar Schayes, Hagan, and Wilt, who averaged 14 and 11. I feel like Wilt was like really nerfed in this. I don't know. His offensive game just isn't very good, but he's a 96 overall. That's really interesting. Maybe I wonder if something's wrong with Will. I mean, I don't really want to change anything now, but inside, let's see, offensively, inside is an A-, D- mid. I don't know. He's just not dominating like I thought he would in this. But so we do have 5 teams in the East. So the Packers are the worst of the 5 in the East. They're probably going to have the number 1 overall pick again, as the Nationals will beat them in 2. And, oh, you know what? I forgot to look at playoffs, so we'll keep it like this for now. But I believe it's still 3-7-7. It might be 5-7-7 now. But I'll go ahead and double check in between this year and next year. So while it's simulating. So here we go. We got the Royals versus the Lakers. The Lakers, the worst team in the West, with Bob Cousy, Seymour Nichols, and Mikan. Mikan's down to an 87 overall. Cousy's down to a 94. Casey Jones, Sam Jones, Tom Sanders, LaRusso, Stokes, Bobby Wanzer, Earl Lloyd. This is a good team. This Royals team is really, really good. And then we got the Hawks, who are the 2 seed, with obviously Bob Pettit and Jerry West. And they're playing the Warriors with McGuire, Guerin, Mickelson, Sears, and Bill Russell. Remember, the Warriors have made it to the NBA Finals in 4 straight years. In the East, we got the Detroit Pistons, who won it a year ago, who beat the Warriors. And it was Cliff Hagan who won the Finals MVP. He's up to a 92 overall. Actually, he might be regressing. He's 30 years old. George King, Bill Sharman, Henson, and Wilt. And then they play the Nationals, who has Lenny Wilkins, Gola, Paul Ayers, and Dolph Schayes, and Hutchins. And on the other side, we got the Celtics with Oscar, Barnett, Loveland, and McAuley. That's a good team. And they are playing against the Knicks with Shoot, Braun, Elgin Baylor, who's up to 96 overall. Elgin Baylor might be the best player in this league here pretty soon, maybe within the next 2 years. So here we go. Let's go ahead and simulate round number 1. The Lakers lose to the Royals in 2. The Warriors lose to the Hawks in 3. The Celtics lose to the Knicks in 3. And the Pistons, they beat the Nationals in 3. So we got the Royals versus the Hawks. So the Warriors will not make it to the NBA Finals for the first time in 4 years, or 5 years, I guess. Casey Jones, Sam, this team is really, really good. Really good. They're the deepest team, I think. But this team has has probably the best duo in the league. Then we got Detroit, who's trying to win back-to-back with Wilt and Cliff Hagan. This is a good team. And then the Knicks, Elgin Baylor, trying to get back to the NBA Finals. They won 2 years ago, beating the Warriors. So here we go. Game 1, and the Detroit Pistons beat the Knicks 87-82. Hagan with 26 and 6. Elgin Baylor with 29 and 5. Game 1 in the West, the Royals win it 74-56. Sam Jones puts up 25. Bob Pettit had 36, was not enough. Game 2, we got a tied series on both sides. 1 apiece. The Knicks tie it up. Cliff Hagan with 19. Elgin Baylor with 27 and 11. Shoe with 21 and 6. And the Hawks win this one 89-79 to tie up the series. 35 and 8 and 4 assists for Bob Pettit. Jerry West 21 and 5. So game 3 on both sides. The Pistons take a 2-1 lead. Baylor 17, 8 and 6. Sharman 21. Hagan 19. Wilt had 18, 15 and 4 blocks. And then the Hawks with Jerry West and Bob Pettit. Bob Pettit 34 and 14, 7 blocks. Jerry West had 20 and 5, and they beat the Royals. So now game 4. It's all tied up in the West. Detroit takes a 3-1 lead. Elgin Baylor 24, 6 and 6 was not enough. Hagan 28, 6 and 3. Hinson 18 and 10. Wilt 15, 11 and 4 blocks. And the Royals tie up this one. Bob Pettit 34 and 13. But Sam Jones had 28. Stokes had 25 and 12 to get the win. Game number 5, the Knicks not tie up the series, but force a game 6. Baylor with 24 and 9. The Royals take a 3-2 lead. Stokes with 20 and 9. Bob Pettit 32 and 13 was not enough. So game 6 on both sides. And the Knicks are eliminated. The Hawks are eliminated. Both series ends in 6. Baylor only 14 and 9. Hinson with 22 and 5. Hagan with 25 and 5. Sharman with 16 and 6 to go to the NBA Finals. And the Royals win this one. Pettit with only 22. Johnson with only 11. Stokes with 19 and 10. Sam Jones with 14. Sanders with 12. And so on and so forth. So here we go. We got the Detroit Pistons, who are trying to win back-to-back. And let's see, they're third in like 6 seasons, I guess, is probably what it would be. So here we go. Game 1 between the Pistons and the Royals. The Royals trying to win their first NBA championship as well, I believe. So here we go. Game 1 in Detroit. And at the half, Detroit has a 2-point lead into the fourth quarter, just a 3-point lead. 45 seconds to go. They are pulling away, and they win it 75-67. Hagan with 23, 4 and 8, 4 steals. We got to start considering Cliff Hagan as one of the top 2 best players in this history. Like possibly over Bob Cousy. He's really good, and he's carrying this Pistons team to championships. Stokes with 15 and 6. Game 2 in Detroit. And at the half, Detroit with a big lead. And yeah, they're going to win this one easily. 90-54. Hagan with 23, 7 and 5. Wilt with 21, 13, 2 steals, 3 blocks. Goodness gracious. The Pistons are now up 2-0 over the Royals. And into game 3, the Royals with a 3-point lead. Into the fourth, Pistons with a 3-point lead now. And with a minute to go, the Pistons take a 3-0 lead. Just like that, Hagan with 19 and 7 and 3, Sharman with 19, Stokes with 17 and 7, Sam Jones with 15. Not enough as we enter a game 4 to see if Detroit can win their second straight NBA title. And they have a 2-point lead going into the second half, all tied up into the fourth. We had a close game here. We'll probably go ahead and jump into this one. Never mind, the Detroit Pistons. I'm gonna go ahead and not jump into this one. We've seen the Pistons win a championship, and they are going to win it 80-74. As Hinson with 26, 9 and 4, Sharman with 15 and 4, Hagan with 15, 8 and 7, Wilt with 15 and 9. And the Detroit Pistons are NBA champions. Cliff Hagan wins MVP, 20 points per game, 6.5 rebounds, 5.5 assists, steal and a half per game. And Cliff Hagan with, I believe his third finals MVP. To me, he's the second best of all time so far. He's not winning regular season MVPs, but this is a good team. And he's winning all of these MVPs in the finals. He's really, really good. Into the 1962 NBA draft. And here's the draft order for you guys. The Packers, or, well, the Zephyrs now. The LA Lakers. The Syracuse Nationals. The New York Knicks. And the Philadelphia Warriors. The Nationals and the Warriors are actually in their last years in their cities. We got 5 players in this draft. And most of you guys remember this draft from the last series because, well, it kind of broke the series. I don't think it's going to happen this time around. You never know. But John Havlicek is coming into the league. And if you guys don't remember, if you guys didn't watch the 2K20 version of this, he literally broke the league. He was averaging like 50 points per game. It was all normal and fine until this point. And then he broke it. It eventually got better, but he broke it initially. The number 1 overall, what the heck? The number 1 overall pick, I was like prepared to set up John Havlicek here with the number 1 overall pick, but the Chicago Packers take Dave DeBusschere. Why? Okay, well, I think LA just caught a huge break here as the Lakers take Jerry Lucas. Wait, is Havlicek in this? Did I screw up? Did I forget Havlicek in here? Don Nelson goes 3 to the Nationals. Chet Walker goes 4. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? John Havlicek goes to Philly to play with Bill Russell. Are you kidding me? Why did he drop so far? Wow. Okay. Well, that's a twist. John Havlicek goes to Philly. Or now soon to be... Wait. He's a 68 overall. Well, that's not right. Something happened in my draft class. Well... We're just gonna keep it, and we'll go from here. I'll fix his overall. It should have been like an 80 overall. So that screwed up the draft. Should I put him? I'm not gonna change it because that's just how it ended up. So I'm gonna keep him with the Warriors. It'll be fun to see him with Bill Russell, anyways. Yeah. I'll just keep it. I don't know what happened. Jumping into free agency here in 1962, Bob Pettit does go and stay with the Hawks. No surprise there. The Knicks re-sign Elgin Baylor. No surprise there. Bob Cousy. Bob Cousy's now with the Warriors. How the heck did the Warriors just get that lucky? They got a screwed up draft on accident. got Havlicek, and then they signed Bob Cousy. George Mikan left LA. He's now in Syracuse. Cliff Hagan stays in Detroit. Carl Braun stays in New York. Paul Arizin stays with the Nationals. Guerin stays in Philly. Mickelson goes from the Warriors to the Celtics. Gallatin, I'll get him back on the Knicks. He keeps on trying to leave to no teams. I don't understand why. Twyman goes to the Knicks and stays with the Knicks. Slater Martin goes to the Lakers. The Knicks re-sign Larry Faust. Hutchins goes to the Knicks as well. Walter Dukes I'll put back on Philly. Coleman goes to the Pistons. Scher to the Hawks, or back to the Hawks. Nichols to the Celtics. Everyone was a free agent this year. Dear Lord. Wow. Okay, we got a super team in Philly. The 1962-1963 season is over. Finally. For you guys, it was like a second. For me, it was like an hour because, PlayStation Network just decided their servers were going to be turned off for an hour. So anyways, I'm back. For you guys, it was a second. But anyways, just wanted to put out a little frustration there. These videos, every time I try and record the series, something happens and it takes like 3 hours to record. It drives me nuts. It really does. All right. Bob Pettit wins back-to-back MVPs. That would be his third, averaging 25.5 points per game, 13 rebounds, 2.7 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks per game. Jerry Lucas wins Rookie of the Year, 19 points per game and 12 rebounds. I'm guessing Havlicek, Bob Cousy, Bill Russell, all them guys, no one probably averaged more than 20 a game. Just my guess because that team is absurd. Bill Russell averaged 12 points, 12.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 2.5 blocks, a steal per game. He wins DPOY. So, all NBA first team, we got Oscar, averaging 23.5 points per game, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Jerry West, averaging 24 and 6. Bob Pettit, averaging 25 and 13. That's a heck of a duo. Elgin Baylor, 25, 10, and 4. Walt Bellamy, 29 points per game and 9 rebounds. All NBA second team, we got Barnett, averaging 25, 5, and 4. Bob Cousy, averaging 17, 4, and 9. Told you. Cliff Hagan, averaging 22, 7.7, and 5 assists. Jerry Lucas, 19 points, 12 rebounds. Is my voice cracked? And Bill Russell on the All-NBA second team. All-NBA third team, we got Lenny Wilkins, Sam Jones, Dave DeBusschere, averaging 8 and 3 assists his rookie year. Tom Ensign and Maurice Stokes. All defensive first team, we got West, Robertson, Pettit, DeBusschere, and Bill Russell. And then all defensive second team, we got Casey Jones, Tom Gullah, Elgin Baylor, Dolph Shays, and Wilt, who averaged 14.5 points per game and 11 rebounds. So on to the playoffs here, as the Zephyrs do get eliminated. So they lose to the Knicks, who are the 4 seed, 2-0. So in the playoffs, we got the Philadelphia Warriors, the last year as the Warriors. The Lakers are the 4 seed, Slater Martin, Jerry Lucas, and Connie Simmons. Yeah, that's not a very good team. The Warriors with Bob Cousy, who's regressing down to a 93, Rich Guerin, John Havlicek, who's up to an 83, Kenny Sears, and Bill Russell, who's up to a 95 overall. And then we got the Royals and the St. Louis Hawks, Casey Jones, Sam Jones, Tom Sanders, Rudy LaRusso, and Murray Stokes, versus the duo Jerry West and Bob Pettit. In the East, we got the Pistons and the Knicks. The Pistons as the number 1 seed, trying to win. What is it? This would be 3 straight, right? Yeah, 3 straight. Trying to three-peat. First team to do that since, I believe, the Lakers. And then for the Knicks, we got Gene Shue, Carl Braun, Elgin Baylor, Twyman, and Faust. On the other side, we got the Nationals and the Celtics with Wilkins, Gola, Paul Arizin, Shays, and George Mikan. I forgot Mikan is in Syracuse. Now they're the 2 seed. The 3-seeded Oscar Robertson and the Celtics with Barnett, Mickelson, Lovelett, McLean. Barnett, who's only 24 years old. He has good numbers, but he's only up to an 87. I thought he'd be a little bit higher than that. But Oscar is up to a 94 overall and in the playoffs, averaging 32, 7.5, and 7.5. Yeah. he's gonna get good here really quick. So here we go. The first round of the playoffs, still 3 games because, you know, PlayStation servers crashed, forgot to check, started it, completely forgot because it's been an hour. So anyways, the Celtics, the Lakers, the Knicks, and the Hawks are all eliminated. So Jerry West and Bob Pettit get eliminated by the Royals. So we got the Royals and the Warriors. And then on this side, we got Detroit, who's looking at three-peat, and the Nationals beat the Boston Celtics. So here we go. Game 1 on both sides. The Warriors, they win at Game 1, 76-63. Havlicek had 22 and 4. Kuzi, 10 and 10. Russell, 9 and 11. The Royals with Murray Stokes had 21, 9 and 4. Sam Jones, 18 and 4. Sanders with 12. On the Eastern Conference Finals, the Pistons lose Game 1. The Nationals win. And George Mikan put up 20 and 4. Arizona put up 15. Wilkins, 10 and 11. So Game 2 for both series. Detroit ties it up at 1. Hagen with 25 and 6. Chamberlain with 13 and 12. The Warriors take a 2-0 lead with LaRusso with 19, 5 and 3. Sam Jones with 16 and 3 was not enough as the Warriors. And Guerin had 20. Russell had 19 and 6. Kuzi had 16, 5. Havlicek had 15, 6 and 5. 5 steals. Goodness. Wow. All right. So Game 3, Detroit takes a 2-1 lead. Mikan with 19 and 6. Hagen with 24, 8 and 4. And the Royals win Game 3. Sam Jones with 25. Stokes with 19. LaRusso with 18, 10 and 4. And now on to Game number 4. The Warriors take a 3-1 lead. Havlicek with 23, 3 and 5 as a rookie. He's averaging 21 and 4.5 assists in the playoffs. Bill Russell, 14 and 11. And the Nationals tie it up. George Mikan with 26 and 9. Wilt Chamberlain had 21 and 6, but was not enough. Now on to Game number 5. The Royals are eliminated as the Warriors win in 5. Havlicek with 26, 2 and 3. Kuzi with 25 and 11. Bill Russell, 8, 8 and 6. 3 blocks. And Detroit, they take a 3-2 lead. Hagen with 27. Sharman with 20. Chamberlain with 10 and 9. So game number 6. And the Nationals lose to Detroit Pistons. The finals that I think we all thought we were going to get, as Henson with 22 and 6. Hagen with 18 and 6. Sharman with 14 and 2. And Chamberlain with 12 and 9. So we got Wilt and Bill Russell in the NBA Finals against each other for the... Is this the second time? I believe this is the second time that we're seeing this. Or maybe it's the third. Pistons, Warriors. Pistons, yeah. So this is the second time we're seeing this. The first time around was just 2 years ago, as the Pistons won in 6. Cliff Hagan ended up winning MVP. So here we go. The Warriors and the Pistons. Will the super team Philadelphia Warriors win it? Will Bob Cousy get his first? Will Bill Russell move to 2 and 4 or 2 and 3 in the NBA Finals? Or will Wilt and Hagen get the Pistons their 4th title and a three-peat here this year? So let's jump in to the Simcast here in Game 1. And at the half, pretty low scoring game, 40-34 as the Pistons with the lead. At the end of 3, Pistons with the 7-point lead. And with 39 seconds, wow, Detroit is going to win 71-61. Cliff Hagan with 24, 5 and 4. Wilt with 10, 9 and 4 and 2 blocks. Bob Cousy had 19, 5 and 5. Havlicek had 17 and 4. Bill Russell with just 5 and 6. Did have 6 blocks, but it was not enough as Detroit takes a 1-0 lead here in the series. Game 2, as the Pistons with an early lead. Going into the 4th, they have a 10-point lead. And here we go. The Warriors are making it close. 1:41 to go. 59 seconds to go. It's a 1-point game. The Pistons lead 87-9. Let's jump in. So, free throw for Bill Sharman, I believe. And he hits it. Second free throw is no good. So it's a 2-point game now. Oh, the Pistons got the offensive rebound. I believe that was Red Kerr who came up with that rebound. And now Sharman out to McGuire at the top. That's a huge rebound. And Havlicek fouls. This is 5th. Not sure why you would foul there. But Sharman to the free throw line. Why did they foul there? Sharman hits both. I don't know why they fouled there. Why did they do that? Now Guerin will bring it up. I don't know what just happened. Guerin drives, gets fouled, so he's going to go to the free throw line. I'm really not sure what happened. And he knocks down both of them. Okay, so now it's back to a 2-point game, but now you have to foul. And that's what they're going to do. Hagan gets fouled. If Hagan makes one of these, it might be over. He hits the first, as crowd is chanting MVP. Wilt is on the bench. And he hits both. So it's a 4-point game again. I don't know why they fouled. I think they blew the game, right? Havlicek with a terrible foul. Guerin into lane, he knocks it in. Good lord, Guerin taking over. But again, I mean, with it being 35 seconds instead of 24, it really does affect the games, but I want to keep the scoring a little bit lower. I might try and put it to 30 again, but I don't know. Last time I did it, the scoring went way up, so it's just hard to do. Cliff Hagan is the player of the game. 28 points. Like, that's with the 35-second shot clock. Like, if it was 24, dude would be averaging, like, 44 a game. And McGuire gets fouled, so McGuire will go to the free throw line. Philly needs to hope that they start missing free throws, and he does. The second is good. So it's a 3-point game. Philly has to score here to make it a 1-point game. They got to foul, and they got to hope that Detroit makes one of two, and then this gets really interesting. Will they give it to Guerin? Will Guerin take this shot again? He's hit the last couple of shots to cut the lead back to 2 each time. So here we go. The Warriors, the last year in Philly, gets it to Guerin. Guerin drives right, spins left, and the layup is... Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Bill Russell came in and threw it down off the miss, and they're gonna call that offensive player interference. Wow. Wow. That is unbelievable. As Hinson makes the first, makes the second, that will do it. That is unbelievable. I'm not sure about that call, but that's going to lose him the game. That would have made it a 1-point game. Guerin, no good. Sharman with the rebound, and that will do it. Detroit will take a 2-0 lead. So game 3 is underway, and Detroit with a lead, a 1-point lead over the Warriors into the third. At the fourth, start of the fourth, Detroit with a 10-point lead. Oh, are you kidding me? Dude, Bob Cousy cannot catch a break here. The Pistons are up by 10 here in game 3. And with a minute and 17 to go, can the Warriors make this interesting? 5-point game? Nope. And Detroit is up 3-0. Cliff Hagan with 30 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists. What a game for Cliff Hagan. And into game 4, the Warriors, okay, with the lead. Oh, wow, they're blowing them out. And, yeah, the Warriors blow them out 77-55. They do get a game. They avoid the sweep. Cousy with 21, 5, and 5. Bill Russell 12, 12, and 6, 4 blocks. Havlicek with 16 and 7. So just like that, could be interesting here if they win this game into a game number 5 and the Pistons with an early lead. Oh, wow. Yeah, no, the Pistons are blowing them out. This is a 30 point victory. 36 point victory. The Pistons hold the Warriors to 44 points in game number 5. The super team in Philly could not get it done. Cliff Hagan with 27 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Wilt with 14 and 7. And Detroit, 3-peats. Cliff Hagan wins finals MVP, 24 points per game, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. A 3-peat and 4 finals MVPs for Cliff Hagan. Entering the 1963 offseason, and we got a big retirement. Probably the greatest of all time so far. George Mikan retires after spending 1 year in Syracuse. He spent 20 years with the Lakers. Did he really? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Well, I guess, and then he was already 6 years pro or whatever. So yeah. He retires. An absolutely incredible career. The first GOAT, I guess you could say. 7-time MVP. 5-time NBA champion. 5-time finals MVP. 13 All-Stars. First team All-NBA 12 times. Second team All-NBA once. And he was a Defensive Player of the Year 3 times. So George Mikan, the first GOAT in this series, retires at the age of 39. Connie Simmons also retires, a 2-time champion, a 1-time All-Star, and a 1-time six-man. McGuire retires at the age of 36, 4-time NBA champion, 1-time All-Star, 1-time second-team All-NBA, 1-time third-team All-NBA, 7-time first-team All-Defensive, and 1-time second-team All-Defensive, as he finished his career with a championship in Detroit. Spent most of it with Philly and New York. And then I believe that's it. Yeah. I believe that's it. Yep. That's it for the retirements. And George Mikan is a Hall of Famer, obviously. A career average of 31.7 points per game, 12.5 rebounds, 1.5 assists, 1.3 steals, and 2 blocks per game. So there you go. Our first big retirement. So into the 1963 NBA draft, and we got 3 players in this draft. The Lakers with the number 1 overall pick. They were worse than Chicago. The Zephyrs, which is now the Baltimore Bullets, I'll be changing that to right before we start the season, with the 2nd overall pick, and the Knicks with the 3rd overall pick. And with the 1st overall pick, Nate Thurman comes into the league, and he goes to LA. And you guys know how good Nate Thurman was. He was on that Royals team the last time we did this in 2K20, where him and Bill Russell were on the same team. So we'll see what happens with him in LA. That will be interesting. With the number 2 overall pick, the Zephyrs take Gus Johnson. And with the number 3 overall pick, the New York Knicks take Jim King. 1963 NBA free agency. Wilt Chamberlain obviously returns to Detroit. Maurice Stokes goes and stays with the Royals. LaRusso stays with the Royals. Barnett stays in Boston. Gola goes to LA. Sears stays with the Warriors. Macaulay stays with the Celtics. Wanzer goes to the Warriors. Felix stays with the Nationals. Or no, it goes from the Warriors back to the Nationals. Coleman goes to the Warriors as well. Yardley stays with the Hawks. Cooper to the Knicks. And Cher to the Warriors. Nichols to the Celtics. Earl Lloyd to the Royals. George King to the Pistons. And Paul Seymour to the Knicks. The 1963 and 1964 NBA season is now over, and Bob Pettit wins his 4th MVP, I believe, his 3rd straight, averaging 26.6 points per game, 14.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, a steal and 2 blocks per game. Nate Thurman had a huge season. Rookie of the Year, 26.5 points per game and 10 rebounds. Bill Russell wins DPOY. Again, 11.7 points per game, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and nearly 3 blocks per game. So, NBA first team, we got Oscar, who averaged 23, 7, and 7. Lenny Wilkins, Bob Pettit, Elgin Baylor, and Nate Thurman. And on the All-NBA second team, we have Jerry West, Barnett, DeBusschere, Hagan, and Wilt. And on the third team, we have Bob Cousy, Sam Jones, Gus Johnson, Tom Hinson, and Bill Russell. All defensive first team, Jerry West, Oscar, Bob Pettit, Elgin Baylor, and Bill Russell. Defensive second team, Casey Jones, Wilkins, DeBusschere, Gus Johnson, and Wilt. On to the playoffs. And once again, I forgot to change the amount of games per series. Oh my gosh. Okay, so with the playoffs in the West, we got Philly versus the Lakers last year. The Warriors did make it to the finals against the Pistons, so they're trying to get back as the number 1 seed. The Warriors with Bob Cousy, who's a 92 overall, Rich Guerin, Havlicek, who's an Upton 88. How did Havlicek do this year? 20 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists. Okay. And then they played the Lakers with Slater Martin, Tom Gola, Jerry Lucas, who's up to an 86 overall, and Nate Thurman, who's up to an 86 overall. Then on the other side, we got the Royals versus the Hawks. So Jerry West up to 96 overall, Bob Pettit up to 98 overall. The Royals, Casey Jones is at a 90, Sam Jones 87, Tom Sanders 89, LaRusso 89. That's a good team. Maurice Stokes is at 90. It's a really good team. In the East, the Detroit Pistons are trying to win 4 in a row. George King is down to a 68 overall. Bill Sharman has an 80. Cliff Hagan is a 92 overall. Wilt's up to 96 overall. And they play the Nationals. The Celtics and the Zephyrs, which, by the way, I forgot to change all the teams. So I'll do that for next episode. So, my bad. But I forgot to change the Zephyrs to the Baltimore Bullets. And then I forgot to change the Warriors and the Nationals. So I'll do that for the next episode, just because it'll be easier to do it that way. So Dave DeBusschere, Gus Johnson, and Walt Bellamy. And the Boston Celtics with Oscar, Barnett, Mickelson, Lovelet, and Ed McAuley. The Knicks didn't even make it to this first round. So here we go. Let's go ahead and simulate it. The Zephyrs do lose, or the Bullets, whichever one you want to call them. The Royals are eliminated. The Warriors and the Nationals are gone. So, wow. The Warriors, I just figured that out. The Warriors lost to the Lakers. Wow. Bob Cousy, man, he just can't get one. Nate Thurman with 28 points in that one, 7 rebounds. Tom Gola with 29. Goodness. So, and then the Royals get upset. So we got Jerry West and Bob Pettit. They have a shot here. They have a really good shot at getting to the NBA Finals here against the Lakers. The Pistons, again, trying to win 4 straight. They play the Boston Celtics with Oscar, Barnett, Mickelson, Lovelet, and Ed McAuley. Oscar averaging 25, 6, and 7 here in the playoffs. So here we go. Game number 1. Detroit wins game 1. Hagan with 22, 7, and 5. Oscar with 34 was not enough. St. Louis wins game 1. Bob Pettit with 28 and 17. West with 15 and 10. Game 2. The Pistons win game 2. They go up 2-0. Henson with 34 and 8. Hagan with 19, 7, and 5. Oscar 25, 5, and 5. The Lakers win game 2. Jerry West with 27, 5, and 5. Pettit with 22 and 10. Thurman with 30 and 8. Lucas with 16, 8, and 7. Game number 3. Detroit takes a 3-0 lead. Oscar with 37. Wilt with 27 and 10. Hagan with 15, 8, and 8. St. Louis wins game 3. Despite Thurman's 29 and 13, also had 4 blocks. Bob Pettit with 28, 11, 4 assists, 3 blocks. Jerry West with 20 points and 7 assists. Game number 4, the Boston Celtics get swept. Wilt with 22 and 6. And St. Louis, they take a 3-1 lead. Jerry West with 28. Pettit with 22, 10, and 4. And now game 5, and the St. Louis Hawks with Bob Pettit and Jerry West get to the NBA Finals. So we got the Pistons and the Hawks. I believe the last time the Hawks got to the finals, or have they ever? Yeah. So the last time the Hawks got to the finals was the first time the Pistons won a championship, the 1956-1957 season, where Cliff Hagan won his first finals MVP. Wow. Okay. So here we go. The Pistons and the Hawks. We'll go ahead and jump into the Simcast. Game 1. We got the duo with the Hawks and this incredible Detroit team with Wilt. And with a minute to go, the Pistons up by 9, and they will win it by 7, 73-66. Hagan with 32 and 6. Sharman with 13 and 3. And Bob Pettit with 20, 13 and 7. 15 for Johnston. Jerry West had a terrible game. Where is Jerry? Oh, no. There you go. 21 and 5. So, there you go. All right. So, game 2. Detroit with the 1-0 lead. 1-0 series lead. And at the half, Pistons with the 3-point lead. Going into the fourth, it's a 10-point lead for the Pistons. And that will do it. 92-76. Hagan with 35, 7, and 3. Pettit with 29, 10, and 3, and 4 blocks. West with 23 was not enough, and the Pistons take a 2-0 lead into game 3 in St. Louis. And, geez, the Pistons are just a machine right now. 99-79. Hagan with 41, 6, and 4. Chamberlain with 24, 12, and 4. Pettit with 29, 11. West with 26 and 9. But the Pistons are just absolutely dominating this league right now. 2-point lead for the Pistons into the fourth. The Hawks with the 4-point lead. 54 seconds to go. 2-point game. We'll jump in. Here we go. The Pistons with the ball down by 2. King has it. He will give it to Sharman. 45 seconds to go. Hinson with the ball. Hinson, whatever. Gets a screen from Wilt. Oh, he had Wilt on the roll. Couldn't get to him in time, and Yardley came up with the steal. And now Detroit's going to have to foul. As, again, remember, 35-second shot clock in this. And Wilt fouls Yardley. And Yardley to the free throw line. He hits the first. And the second is no good. Wilt with the rebound. It's a 3-point lead. They're still in this. You got to score now, though. King with it. A screen for Sharman. Gives it back. Okay, Hagan. Come on, Hagan. Gets in the post of Wilt. Okay, here we go. Wilt backing down. Kicks out at Hagan. Gets a screen from Wilt. Hagan floater is good. That's a big shot by Cliff Hagan. That's a huge shot. That two-man game between Hagan and Wilt, that must be amazing. That must be so fun to watch. Alright, here we go. St. Louis with the ball. Remember, they're going to get fouled here with 11 seconds to go. Bob Pettit is the player of the game with 25 in this one on 11 of 16 shooting. So here we go. Bob Pettit is passing it in. He will get it in to West, and West misses the first. Jerry West, the second free throw is up and in. So a missed free throw to possibly seal it. And now Detroit has a chance to tie this game and send this thing to overtime with 10 seconds to go. What do you do here? I mean, you got to give it to your best player, right? In Cliff Hagan. Run a pick and roll with Hagan and Wilt. Hinson will pass it in. He gives it to Hagan. 7 seconds to go. 4 seconds. Hagan gets a screen from Wilt. Hagan drives right. Pull up jumper. Oh, it's no good. That rattled in and out. And the St. Louis Hawks win Game 4 to avoid the sweep. And we'll be back in Detroit for Game 5 to see if Detroit can win a 4th straight NBA championship. Into a game number 5. And at the start of the third quarter, the Hawks are up 39-38. At the end of 3, it's all tied up at 54. 4 minutes goes, tied up at 63. A minute 43. The Hawks are up by 4. Can the Pistons make this close, or will the Hawks pull away? The Hawks pull away and win it 71-67. Hagan with 22 and 7. Bob Pettit with 24 and 9. And all of a sudden, we have a series here. The Hawks have a chance to force a Game 7 in Game 6 in St. Louis. That is a huge Game 5 win for the Hawks. So game number 6, at the half, the Pistons lead by 6. At the end of 3, oh, and Detroit's pulling away. Oh, man. Detroit blows out St. Louis in the second half. Wins it by, what is that? Wins it by 11. Wins the second half by 11. 89-68 is the final score. Cliff Hagan, 28 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Henson with 27 and 10. Wilt with 18 and 12. Pettit only 17 and 9. West with only 22 and 3 assists. And the Detroit Pistons win 4 straight. Cliff Hagan is your finals MVP. His best finals, I think. 31 points per game, 5.5 rebounds per game, and 3.5 steals per, or 3.5 assists per game. He's a 92 overall at 32 years old. And he is now a 5-time NBA champion, 5-time finals MVP. The one thing he doesn't have is a regular season MVP. But, I mean, he's dominating the playoffs. He doesn't need the regular season MVP. He doesn't really, I mean, if you go ahead and look at him in the regular season, he doesn't blow you away. He's really good. I mean, 25 a game, 22, 27. I guess you can make an argument this was his closest year, the 55, 56 season. Who won MVP that year? George Mikan. I mean, George Mikan was probably averaging 34 a game. So how do you give it to him, right? 28 this season, the 57, 58 season, Bob Cousy won it that year, so maybe you could have given it to Cliff Hagan. But since then, you know, he's a really good player. Just because he doesn't have the regular season MVPs doesn't mean that he's not going to go down as a top 10 player in this series. I mean, he's been incredible. He's the second best player of all time, right behind George Mikan. How many championships did Mikan get? 5? Let's see. He got 1, 2. I think just 5. Yeah, looks like just 5. So he ties George Mikan in championships. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So he ties George Mikan. I would say it would take a lot for Cliff Hagan to pass George Mikan. Because, to be fair, George Mikan lost once. He made it to 6 and lost once, I believe. Yeah. The Pistons, they lost back in 54-55, which I believe Cliff Hagan was there, right? 54-55? Yeah. That would have been this season where he averaged his second season where they lost. And then they lost. Did they lose again after that? No. So that's the only time they lost. So he's 5-1 as well. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. I mean, George Mikan's numbers year after year was insane. So I think I still would give it to him. 7 MVPs too, I believe. So you have to give it to George Mikan as the greatest of all time so far. But Cliff Hagan is a solid number 2. After that, it gets interesting if you want to put maybe Bob Cousy or Bob Pettit, maybe. Or, I mean, I don't know. That I think that's where it gets tough. 1 and 2 is easy, though. 1 and 2 is easy. Hope you guys enjoyed, though. Hit that like button if you did. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Check out the Madden and the MLB The Show videos as well. Also, I do a podcast with my friend Steven every single weekend. And, once in a while during the week, if something big happens, like the NFL draft, I believe we will be doing a shorter draft podcast. We'll have a special guest. So if you guys want to check that out, that won't be live on the YouTube, but that will be posted on the wherever you find your podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever. So description down below, the link for that will be down below if you guys want to check that out. I believe, when is this being posted? Is this being posted Thursday? So, yes. So, yeah, go check it out. The draft is tonight. Holy crap. The draft is tonight as when this video is going up. So, go ahead and check out that podcast. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen in the NFL draft. Should I give you guys my top 10? I mean, this is on Tuesday. I'm recording this. So, yeah, it's Tuesday, right? Yeah, it's Tuesday. So, there's still some time and some things can happen. But I'll go real quick through what I think is going to happen. If you guys are curious and you guys want to stick around and watch. I think I know all the teams at least in the top 10. So Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson will go 1 and 2. I think Mac Jones goes 3 to San Fran. I think that's a mistake, but I think he goes 3. At 4, I would just say that no teams trade into the top 10, but I think there will be at some point. But we'll just keep it at, I'll just give you guys a basic one. I think you cannot pass on Kyle Pitts at 4 unless you want to trade down and you get a boatload for that pick 4. In that case, it'd be for a quarterback, right? So I'm going to say Kyle Pitts goes 4. At 5, which is Cincinnati. Man, I have a feeling they take a wide receiver. I have a feeling they take Jamar Chase. Or if Kyle Pitts is there, they take Kyle Pitts. The smart thing would be to take an offensive lineman, but I don't know. I have a feeling they take a wide receiver. I'm going to go ahead and say they take Penei Sewell. And at 6 is Miami. I think Miami would then take Jamar Chase. Detroit at 7 with no trades. I think they trade down, though. But at 7, I'm going to say Detroit takes Jalen Waddle. Yeah, Jalen Waddle. At 8, Carolina. I'm going to say Carolina takes... I think Micah Parsons drops. I'm going to say Carolina takes Slater. Yeah. I'm going to say, that's tough. I think they trade down too. They could go, I don't know if they would go Devontae Smith. So yeah, I would go, yeah, I would go Slater. At that point, if Lance and Fields are there for Denver, as a Broncos fan, if that happens, unbelievable. They better not pass on both of them. I would say at that point you take Trey Lance. I think he just has a slightly higher ceiling. I do love Justin Fields though. I'd be okay with either one. I would take Trey Lance, I guess. And then at 10 would be, who's at 10? Dallas. So then best corner. So whatever they think, JC Horn or Patrick Surtain. So there you go. Anyways, quick top 10 mock draft for you guys as the NFL draft is tonight. I don't know if I'll do my own mock draft or not. Probably not. So there's that for you guys. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen tonight in the NFL draft if you guys care. And I'll see you guys in the next episode, which would be on Sunday. So hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in 1959. No, not 1959. 1964. 1964. We're way past 59. 1964. See you guys then. Dear Lord.